If I was going to catch a train somewhere and I looked on the station and found a timetable and it looked like this, then I could read what time trains are expected to depart according to this little graph here. Now this is actually called a stem and leaf plot. And if we look at this, we can consider that my column on the left-hand side is the hours part of time, and my different numbers on the right-hand side all refer to the minutes. So I can expect that a train is going to depart at 6:12, and that the next one will be at 6:32, and the next one at 6:52, 7:07, 7:18, and so on. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to make a stem and leaf plot from different data. But we don't necessarily realise, but we've already seen them quite a few times. There are a few reasons why we might want to have a stem and leaf plot to represent our data. One of the main reasons is we can see the shape of the data. Now what shape means is that I can see in which category there are more and less trains leaving. So for example, I can see that when the time is 7 something o'clock, that there are 6 different trains that leave during that hour. But at 10 o'clock, there are only 3 different trains that leave before 10 and 11. That gives me an idea of when there are more and when there are less, and we call that the shape. And so the shape of this, we might say, looks something like that. Another thing that a stem and leaf plot tells us, not only does it tell us the shape, but in doing so, it also gives us the exact values. And that makes it a little bit different from a histogram or a box plot in that we can see every single exact value. And a stem and leaf plot is unique in that you can see the shape and all of the exact values in the same plot. The last thing we have to remember when we're making a stem and leaf plot is we need to make sure everything lines up really neatly in vertical columns. And you can see my first train from the hour and my second train and my third train and so on all line up beautifully with the same train from the next hour or the previous. And by doing our careful alignment like this, what we do is we make sure that we can preserve our ability to see the shape of the stem and leaf plot. Now we're going to use stem and leaf plots for more than just time. We're going to use it for a whole lot of different kinds of data. And generally when we're making a stem and leaf plot, there are a couple of things we want to keep in mind. The first thing we want to keep in mind is to note that all of our data points are in order. So this part here, which is called the stem, you can see that these are in order going up by 1. So that's all ordered. We can't make it random. Secondly, when we have a look at the other part, this part here, this is what they call the leaf part or the leaves of the plot. And they're also ordered. And they're ordered from the lowest to the highest within each category. So we need to make sure we do that as well. Normally, we're also given some sort of a key. And so therefore, we should always write a key for our stem and leaf plot. And a key you might write as something like this. 6:12, that's how it looks in the stem and leaf plot, is 6:12 a.m. And something like that tells the reader that when they see a certain data point, that's what the data point means. If I have a look back here, I can also very easily count how many different data points I have. And that's really useful as well. So they're the things we need to keep in mind when we make a stem and leaf plot and how it's ordered in both directions. Now you'll notice when we first make a stem and leaf plot, we'll order all of our stems from the data, but not order our leaves. And then in our second piece of work, we'll make sure everything's ordered both ways. So the first piece of work we do will be a little bit like working out, and the second bit we do will be the answer. Once we've got the stem and leaf plot, we can answer all sorts of different questions about our data. And by easily displaying it, it means that those questions are really easy to answer. If you found this or any of my other videos helpful, please subscribe to my channel or like the video. Thanks.